The Dell Latitude 9442 in 1 can be found directly on Dell's website with a starting price of $1,919, which includes an Intel Core i5-1355U, 16 GB RAM, and 256 GB SSD storage. Our unit is the full-spec variant, with an Intel Core i7-1365U processor, 32 GB RAM, and 512 GB storage, priced at $2,579. I'd argue the entry-level model with an Intel Core i5 and 16 GB RAM is more than enough for most people, but if you're a heavy multitasker or plan on using more resource-intensive programs, opting for the 32 GB RAM variant might be a better choice for longevity. There are actually two variants of the Intel Core i5 to choose between, those being the Intel Core i5-1335U and Intel Core i5-1345U. These chips are very similar, but the 1345U has a slightly higher max clock speed and is vPro certified. You're almost certainly not going to notice a difference between either of these. The overall design of the Dell Latitude 9442 in 1 is very similar to that of the Dell XPS 13 Plus, which was the company's experimental version of the XPS 13 with a more futuristic design that included an invisible touchpad, edge-to-edge keyboard, and capacitive function keys. The XPS 13 Plus was met with mixed criticism, with some absolutely loving the forward-leaning design and others disliking aspects like the invisible touchpad or capacitive buttons. So, if Dell were to reuse this overall design on its flagship Latitude product, it would need to make some changes to address those criticisms. And changes it made. The design of the Latitude 9442 in 1 can be best described as a more sensible XPS 13 Plus. If that device was an all-out attempt to build something out of this world, the Latitude brings things back down to earth while still maintaining that excellent modern design. So, what's different? We'll start with the overall design, a little larger and thicker than the XPS 13 Plus. We have a 14-inch screen, up from 13.6-inch on the XPS Plus. The display is a high-resolution 2560 by 1600 IPS display that supports touch, which sits on a 360-degree hinge, allowing the laptop to convert into a tablet if necessary. The display also features an anti-reflective coating and an anti-smudge coating that attempts to reduce fingerprints. It even has pin support with the optional Dell Active Pin. The Latitude 9442 in 1 does indeed pass the one-hand opening test, too. The Latitude 9442 in 1 is thicker than the XPS 13 Plus to accommodate a larger battery, which means it should last longer on a single charge throughout the workday. That bigger display and battery mean this laptop is a little on the heavier side, coming in at 3.13 pounds, which on a 14-inch laptop makes it feel incredibly dense. The edges of the device feature clean-cut sides with a shiny brushed metal effect that looks great. The laptop also features that familiar XPS wedge-shaped design, meaning the front is thinner than the back. Regarding ports, we have two Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports on the left side and a 3.5mm headphone jack, joined by another Thunderbolt 4 USB-C port on the right side. The right side also includes a nano SIM card slot for models with a 5G modem. My review unit did not. The only real criticism I have about the design of the Latitude 9442 in 1 is that the paint finish they use really suffers from visible fingerprints. Like most black or dark paint jobs, handling the Latitude 9442 in 1 always makes your laptop look a bit greasy. It's a minor complaint, but something to keep in mind.